On that note, we are live.
Hello. Welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode number 377. I am Otto, and tonight I am joined with Jared Schneiderman.
Hello, friends.
Alex Schlegel.
Hello, everybody. How we doing?
And the very apt name, Extremist Bab.
Great to see you.
So, yeah, so do we pronounce that Christmas tree mist Bab
Yeah.
now?
Christmas Tree Bab.
That's
Christ
a great idea.
tree
Chris
mist
Treemist.
Bab.
Chris Treemist.
Let's see if we can fix that. Yeah, dude, what a week in clown world! Holy cow, man! It just gets weirder and weirder out there.
Where do we start?
I don't know.
Yeah, where do we start? But apparently we're going right off the bat. We're
Yeah,
going
we're
clown
We're
world.
getting right into clown
That's the
world.
segment that people want. That's what
Well,
they-
since
they
punk is
demand.
dead, maybe we should rebrand the show like
Punk is
Clown World Libertarians. Like,
Clownitarians.
No, there's a whole group that's for that.
So what was it we wanted to highlight here? The
Oh man,
the,
where?
Juicy Smollett.
I mean, we could go there. I mean, there was
we want to start off there.
Yeah, let's kick it off with that because that seems to be the.
So what happened? So he got convicted of what?
He's guilty.
Faking a hate crime, faking
lying to police and whatever. First of all, could I be the first one to just say thank you, Juicy? Okay. I haven't seen anybody else thank him. All right. I saw a post on Police One that accused him of wasting 3,000 man hours of police.
I mean, yeah, that's an accomplishment.
That's significant. That's more than all the Black Lives Matter activists that I know. Right. Like,
I mean, think of
So,
how many
cheers,
dogs we
Juicy.
saved.
right. Yeah. There's at least like 6 puppies that are alive today as a result.
You guys see that cop though that just like stormed on that front porch and just kicked that little dog? Like, kicked
Oh,
it and made it,
no.
like, squeal. You guys didn't see that video?
Yeah, that was
Did he
fucking-
kill-
Well,
and
could
he
you be
killed-
more specific?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to narrow it down. Sorry.
Which puppy side instance are we referring to here?
If you go, all right, so the Free Thought Project had a good spotlight on it. Like literally, it's just a Ring camera video, and there's a dog's on the front porch. It's just like a small dog, and it's just sitting there. And the police are walking towards his door, and he just stands up, and then he barks once, and then the police officer kicks as hard as he can. Like, I mean, absolutely, just starts slamming this dog like with its boot and just beating shit. And the dog's like going, yeah, right, and like it runs off the front porch for no reason. This cop did it for no fucking reason.
Well, now you know how his wife feels.
Holy shit!
you know the kind of like asshole cop that's going to do that kind of thing is going to do the same thing to his own kid.
Oh,
Right?
100%.
Does anybody
Right.
does
It's
anybody
so
question
gross.
that? Like these are the people that are allowed to roam the streets and with qualified immunity and to harass people.
Right.
Yes.
Very sad. Very sad.
So what I liked about the Juicy thing is how many of the celebrities and politicians had hitched their wagon to this cart, right? And then the wheels fell off, and everyone's like,
There were so many tweets that did not age well.
"Oh my god!" And turns out she's super buddy with Kamala Harris, right? You think like, wow, like, gee, like a lot of times, like, your friends probably have like similar morals, right? Like if you're like an upstanding person, you're not going to hang around with dirtbags and criminals, right? Kamala Harris says, Juicy, is it Smollett or Small-Yay? Smollett?
I think it's Jussie Smollett. I think the Juicy
Smollett?
Smollett is just Dave Chappelle like making fun of it.
Okay, I'm just going to call him Juicy. Is that
Yeah, that's fine.
all right? Juicy. Juicy is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings. This is Kamala Harris's tweet. Most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for his quick recovery. This was an attempted modern-day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of their sexuality or color of their skin. We must confront this hate. Bernie Sanders jumps in.
Oh,
We must come together to eradicate all forms of bigotry and violence. Oh, you're so brave, Bernie.
stunning. And brave.
AOC is on here.
Yeah. Well,
Lori
Bernie also
Lightfoot.
says, yeah, it's a horrific instance of the surging hostility towards minorities around the country. Surging hostility towards minorities. Has anybody actually heard of a surging is there any basis in fact in that? Am I just wrong? Unaware?
Well, this helps when you're sponsoring a bill. When Senator Kamala Harris, and this was 2019, sponsors a making lynching a federal crime. Like, how is it not like a federal crime? Like, really? Like lynching? Like you murdered someone? Isn't there already laws on the books?
Yeah.
Finally,
No.
finally, someone's willing to go on the record and say lynching is wrong. God, what? God bless. Like,
I know.
Finally, this is gonna come to an end. I'm sick of these lynchings going on.
Booker said that lynching is not a relic of the past, pointing to the attack on Empire actor Juicy Smollett in Chicago.
Wow. Yeah.
That
So
aged well.
what a bunch of fucking opportunists.
And he says, Cory Booker says right in his tweet, to those in Congress who don't feel the urgency to pass our anti-lynching bill designating lynching as a federal hate crime, I urge you to pay attention. Now, okay, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and this is a comedy show, right?
Sure.
But like Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Juicy, they're all buddy, right?
Pretty
Sure.
much.
Is there? I mean, who's and Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, she's in on it. Is there any chance that these guys would come together and just try to work together and think that they can just like run this kind of a scam and get away with it?
Absolutely, they would do this. They would. Absolutely
I think they would do. No. See, here's the thing. I like to take a victory lap on this because from the instant this happened, I was like, this just doesn't sound right. Something about white supremacists wearing MAGA hats.
This is Trump country or something. Didn't they say something like this is Trump
in the middle,
country or MAGA country?
Downtown Chicago, right? They're just
Right.
walking
At
around with
3 in the
MAGA
morning.
hats.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
MAGA country.
with rope,
Carrying a noose. And
just
they're
happened to have a
beating up black
noose ready, like MAGA country, Chicago. Sounds
Right.
totally legit. Everybody, I think, as far as I know, everybody thought it was BS at the time, except Biden, Kamala,
all of Hollywood.
all of Hollywood. Yeah.
Okay, guys, could you try a little harder? And remember, this is clown world. This is the Potemkin presidency where everything they do is fake. Right.
Yeah.
Everything. And even when they're doing like an event at the White House, it's a set that simulates the White House. They can't do anything for real. It's just they just can't do it physically. They can't actually allow reality to be seen. So the fact that they would construct this whole thing, to me, just seems totally plausible.
Yeah.
Didn't he pay like 2 black guys in whiteface to beat him up? Wasn't that?
Yeah, they were like Nigerians.
They were Nigerians.
Yeah,
Funny, the meme that said it was
guys.
the first Nigerians to be scammed by Americans.
No, then they turned on him. They're the ones that they basically blew the lid off of all this, and that's when it started coming unwrapped. Because
was there some new thing that also involved perhaps a sexual relation of Juicy that he decided was now non-consensual, and he's like trying to get somebody on rape after he got some kind of a reach around? I don't know exactly what the deal was. Has anybody heard that story?
No.
Someone posted.
I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about it, so I don't.
Apparently, he was like jerking off. Jussie was jerking off at the dudes who beat him up or whatever, allegedly. It was like a fake headline, or at least I thought it was fake.
I can't figure this out.
Be real. I don't know. No king shaming.
But you know what I will shame is when you're having fun or whatever your kink is. I don't care. But when you bring the police in and try to like frame somebody because like I guess he hurt your feelings or I don't know what happened there, but
yeah, we were dead on this one, and I love the meme
wasn't
I made.
the whole ploy to so that he wouldn't get fired off his show or something like that? Wasn't that the idea? Or he wanted to get a raise or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Damn, dude.
These guys have no limits. They have no morals. They'll make up any shit to advance their career, and they do it for a living, and they laugh about it.
Right.
Like, I mean, remember Kamala's thing where she was like, we're going to show kids interested in space, right? And she couldn't even do like an event with kids without going through a talent agency and making sure that everyone's lines were properly memorized. Like everything they do is fake. Remember the inauguration? Like Obama, remember like thousands of people out there on the mall. Biden, thousands of flags filling the empty space on the mall. Everything is fake and staged.
Well, that was because of COVID.
Yeah, whatever COVID. It is.
Remember Bernie just sitting out there with his gloves and his
all the memes that came out of that
lawn chair.
Was that was the inauguration? Yeah, God bless him for at least being one of the guys they could count on. Look, they probably said, look, if you're getting paid, you got to come. He's like, all right,
yeah, but it's
everybody on the team is like, hey, I sold out, I have to go.
It's just so blatant now. You just see the agenda, like everything that they're pushing, and then a year or months later, just things just reveal itself so much quicker, and it's like this is just at this point. Why do people actually believe these motherfuckers anymore? Like, it's
because they got so sorry for them. You invest so much in the fantasy that it becomes even harder to confront reality.
Yeah,
so they doubled down, and they're like, "I guess we're gonna. It's okay. It's Omicron variant. Here we go. I'm even more scared."
Like they don't even try. Like they don't even try to, dupe us. It's just so blatant, and people buy into this shit. Like just going back to like. Wait, dudes at 2 a.m. in Chicago with MAGA hats. Like, you pick Chicago of all fucking places. Like, really? You can't even like make this believable. It's just so fucking blatant.
Well, the police, what I heard, the police of Chicago they decided this was totally uncredible at the beginning, right? And it was only after they got pressure from guess who? Kamala.
Yeah, because you gotta. Yeah, because all the while they're pushing the BLM, they're pushing the agenda. They're plotting and scheming. All of them were running during that time to be the next nominee and to just push this fucking agenda. Cory Booker, all of them, and they were all awful candidates. So they needed to do as much as they could to remain relevant and just push this fucking agenda. And and then fast forward to now, and it's just like. What the fuck? We live in clown world. Like these are the motherfuckers like Buttigieg and just this recent what a clown show he is. And then you have just with it's just like the tornadoes that happened out in the Midwest. And then you have the fucking what's her position? She's the secretary, or not the secretary, but FEMA director. And she's like, well, this is I posted the clip there, Jared, but she basically is blaming all these tornadoes on climate change, and this is going to be the new normal. The new normal. Have we heard that before?
Oh God, yeah.
The new normal. So it's like they're just jumping straight to climate change. COVID, climate change.
Why not? Yeah, there's a tragedy. Climate change.
Our new normal, and the effects that
start that over.
This is going to be our new normal, and the effects that we're seeing from climate change are the crisis of our generation.
You're going to die!
At FEMA to work with communities to help reduce the impacts.
Thank God we're working with FEMA.
Your kids are going to die.
And help to develop system-wide
Your kids are going to camp.
That can help protect communities.
All we need is some more money to the federal government, and then grandma will not die.
Good.
I saw another thing in clown world that I thought was interesting. White House is working behind the scenes with media to get positive coverage on the economy. Did you hear this? Evidently, the White House is not pleased with how the economy is being portrayed. So they had a secret meeting, right, where they're telling the reporters how to talk about the successes of the economy and how wonderful everything is. So just don't believe your own senses. We're going to have some media personalities there to let you know everything's great. They're going to remember, inflation, it's now a good thing, right? Get on the program.
Yeah. It's not transitory anymore.
We got to find that Jim Cramer, just exactly what you're talking about, Babs. Did you guys see the video of Jim Cramer the CNBC, the investor guy who was just like,
that scumbag.
Yeah, the meme,
the guy who was saying we need to get the military to go around and inject people.
Yes, right. There's that. And then
dude,
just
go point at the map with the fucking arrows. Like, go, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Wow.
And then 2 days, and then just recently, I think just last week, he was talking like, oh, this economy, when the jobs report came out, because you have this administration like, hey, we locked everybody down, shut down entire industries, and oh, okay. And a year later, oh, jobs are coming back and people are hiring. And these are like the best job numbers. Like, it's like, yeah, no shit. And Kramer was on CNBC just this is the greatest economy ever. And, just total like, oh, inflation.
Who pays any attention to Kramer to begin with?
Right. And it's
wasn't he discredited like at least 10 years ago, and he
right.
still has his face on TV for unknown reasons?
Like literally the day before the crash of 2008, he's just like, Bear Stearns is doing great. Bye.
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs, it's great.
How does he still have a show?
Right.
Yeah, who's watching Mad Money and actually making money?
No one. Right. You're better. You've got better odds listening to Punk Rock Libertarians podcast for your financial advice.
If you listened to me like 3 years ago, you'd have quite a bit of money on your hands.
Stack sats. We don't give financial advice. Stack sats.
I'm just saying.
We don't give tax advice.
You're so right, Jared. Like, who the fuck still listens to this guy? So, of course, to this article, Babs, of course, the machine's going to pay these fucking stooges off so that they remain relevant and do the bidding for them, like just to keep this illusion going.
Does anybody have Kramer's rate card? Like, he'll say anything for money, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like, how much does it cost? I'm guessing he's not even that expensive.
Right.
He's like $5 on Cameo for half an hour. With him yelling at you.
But,
you know what he has about the credibility of John McAfee pushing a shit coin.
Right. The only thing he's done of value as of late has been the template of the memes. Like, invest such and such memes are old, invest in like whatever. Like, that's it. His meme template.
Yeah, he's lucky to have that value on society.
You're just a meme template.
Yeah, like
at least that's something from like 8 years ago.
At least it's something. At least it's something positive he's brought to the world.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, but holy shit. Yeah, what a joke. But yeah, there's a bit. So then I guess Kamala's pushing this Green New Deal, and she's out there because God knows what the fuck she's doing. But she's out there apparently demonstrating the benefits of electric cars.
Oh, at Tesla? Was Tesla involved? Let me guess.
No. We'll watch. No, not at all.
No.
We'll watch the video. Maybe you can see what kind of vehicle it is, but it's definitely
not a Tesla.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. I'll bet.
Have they even acknowledged that Tesla exists?
Listen to. Oh my God. Yeah. So I don't know. It's something ugly looking. That's not a Tesla. I don't think so.
No, it's not Tesla.
It's plugged in, so it's plugged into just a normal electric socket, right?
It's pretty sure it's
normally it's a 240 volt, but
Kamala, see if it's on by putting your tongue to the terminals.
Yeah.
Look at her.
There we are.
That's it.
And there's no sound or fume.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
That's
So
all there
for
is
all of
to
us
it.
who are used to
Every morning.
filling our tank, you usually can smell it and you can hear it. You can.
This will be a big help for my manservant.
None of that. So how do I know it's actually working?
It is. So typically, once you
God.
wave the card, it's actually charging. So.
But how would I know that? Tell me how I would know that.
So typically,
She sounds like a bitch when she says that. Like, how do I know that?
I mean, what are they putting?
What does it say? It's got a city logo on the car.
That's Prince George's County, Maryland.
Oh, PG County. Oh God.
I think so. I think that's what it says.
Let's zoom in. Let's get to the.
Zoom in.
Yep, you're right. Prince George's County, Maryland.
There we go. I know my Maryland County seals.
If there was any county in Maryland that you were going to avoid the most, which one would it be?
Yes, it was PG County, and I was there yesterday. I was in the middle with all PG County's finest.
Oh, dude, that's right. You went down there to your football team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, because I was like, I was like, hey man, you want to hang out? He's like, oh no, I was like, you want to hang out? We'll watch some football, go out. He's like, I'm actually at the game. I was like, oh man.
I won ticket on the radio.
What a disappointment.
It was like lower bowl. like Jonathan Allen, our defensive lineman for the Washington football team, he bought tickets for Washington fans because he knew like the whole stadium was going to be bought up by Cowboys fans. And so he bought like a bunch of tickets, and he had to be like the 93rd caller. And I literally called in just one time. Just one time I called in, and I was the 93rd caller. And I was just on a whim. And so I was like, well, I got to go to this. So I took my son, and it was just the worst idea ever. I haven't been to this. I haven't been in that shitty fucking stadium in PG County in 10 years. It was 10 years ago last time I went.
Wait, what team was it?
The Washington football team, because we don't have a name. So that's
formerly the Redskins, but that
formerly the Redskins.
I thought that was in like Largo. Is that Largo, Maryland?
No.
Or
actually, it's Raleigh-John. It's actually considered Raleigh-John. Raleigh-John, and then now they say it's Lanover.
I used to go to. I've been to Redskins games, and like when I was a kid, but that
was probably ago. RFK in DC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the good stadium. That's I don't know. Yeah, so I was there in PG County, and I was just watching it, and we went down like 21-0, 20, and I took my 7-year-old son, and I was just.
And you threw
this
him
is a
over
bad
the
idea. I'm like, he goes to me, he goes, Daddy, there's a guy throwing up in a trash can. I'm like, oh, so there is. So there is.
That's called courtesy. Okay. And that you won't find that in Philly.
No.
Hell no.
Otto goes,
no, that'll just be puke all over the sidewalk in Philly.
No, Otto just goes there, but by the grace of God, go I. That's what he sees when he.
And so I literally standing there, and like we went down like 24-0. There was like 20-0, 21-0 or something like that, and I was just like, this is not getting good. And like, you could feel like the tension in the stands. And like, my son doesn't know what's going on, but I'm like, okay, this guy keeps yelling at me. This Cowboy fan keeps yelling in my face and yelling and screaming. People behind me are yelling and screaming. And then they're fighting with other Washington fans. And then finally a fight broke out right before halftime. And I was like, okay, that's enough for me. It was two women, like,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Started fighting each other. I was like, all right, I'm out. Like I pulled the ripcord. I was like, I can't keep my son here. And so then as we go to leave, of course, shockingly enough, the line for food was like around, like it had to have been like close to like 100 yards long.
So you were like, Taco Bell time.
So of course, the one person in the line that was screaming at people was an Eagles fan.
What?
Yeah, it was an Eagles fan.
I thought they were known for good manners.
Yeah, they don't get kicked out of. They don't get banned from bars, do they?
Well, look.
They'll pelt Santa with snowballs. You got to give them credit for that.
We were on our bye week this weekend. We had to, so why not go to a Redskins Cowboys game on a whim and just talk shit?
Yeah.
What else you gonna do on a Sunday?
Like try to stir up shit between Cowboys and Indians.
Of course, an Eagles fan stir up.
Yeah. So
did you hear what they said about you? Oh my God!
And so like my son's just like, why is that guy yelling? He's so angry. I'm like,
it's football.
They do. And I'm like, and so then as we were there, like 3 cops dragged this guy out who looked like he was like fucking hammered or high or something.
Oh, no.
Cowboys or Cowboys fan?
No, just typical PG County Washington fan. Like so it's so funny how you mentioned PG County, and just like I was in the middle of it, and so I literally pulled the ripcord. I asked my wife, like it was right after the start of the third quarter. I was like, "Come get me!" I was like, "Just come get me now. This is not going to be good." Because like even if Washington comes back and wins this game, which they came close to doing, I was like, I know that's going to be even worse.
It sucks getting it out of there, doesn't it?
The traffic alone is bad. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be the big target with my little son here, with a whole bunch of like 30,000 angry Cowboys fans. So I was like, you know what? I just needed to get out of there. So I was like, I don't care.
Trust your instincts.
Yeah.
When your instincts say get the hell out, you should probably get the hell out.
Yep. And so whatever. I just pulled the ripcord. That was.
Why were we talking about PG County? I forget why.
Kamala.
She was so she's doing her electric EV thing. Total clown world. Like, I saw somebody had interviewed Elon recently, and she was asking him about like, well, what do you want from the federal government? What do you think they should be investing in? Elon's like, nah, they're so in debt. Like they really shouldn't do anything. They shouldn't pass the infrastructure bill. And the reporter's like, it's got all why. She's like, what? She's like, you don't think they should be? She's like, you don't think they should be investing in like charging station infrastructure? And they're like, she's like, well, We don't need to support gas stations, so we don't need to support electric charging stations. No, I think he said they probably shouldn't pass it. And she's like, whoa.
Yeah, was that the one where he has his new like evildoer haircut going?
He's always had some kind of supervillain look.
Yeah, and then he but he said something pretty based on there. He was like he was talking about how the government's shitty at allocating resources and like we should just leave it in the hands of like capitalists like me. I was like, yeah, exactly, dude.
Oh, he said something about like government being like a gang or something. Didn't he say something with the monopoly on violence?
Yeah,
monopoly on violence.
Yeah, he said a bunch of really cool shit.
Whatever. I kind of like it. As far as supervillains go, he's one of my favorites. I'm gonna say like maybe he's like I don't know. As long as he doesn't talk about Bitcoin.
Yeah, Elon Musk slams Biden's plan to spend government money on electric vehicles. Let me try to find a quote. Yeah.
Well, and I've been busting on Elon for taking those carbon credits, right? Like he gets a lot of the carbon credit, right? But then what I heard is that he wasn't the one lobbying for the carbon credit legislation for electric vehicles. That was GM. And he was just able to take advantage of it because GM can't figure out how to deliver an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
So do you blame him for taking advantage of some bullshit legislation, right? That's going to give him a market advantage?
Really.
I would, I bet most of us would do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically them not taking money from him, right?
Yeah, it's saying like, oh, you want my customers to get a tax break if they do business with me? Yeah, I would.
Right.
I'm going to say, yeah, definitely I would.
Yeah, do we need support for gas stations? We don't. So there's no need for support for a charging network. I would delete it.
Delete. That should be the
literally
meme.
saying get rid of all subsidies.
That should be the meme. Like
gas.
Elon Musk says, delete government. Like.
Yeah, I mean that's been the one thing we've been able to, as like libertarians, like knock him on is like the subsidies and stuff. But it sounds like he's like, well, they're there, so I'm gonna take them. But like, I'm not gonna. I don't want them to be there.
Well, I think probably more questionable would be his contracts for like launching spy satellites and stuff like that. Taking the.
You mean the one that's giving you internet right now?
Well, some of those launches, they're not all for Starlink internet. Some of them were for like military contracts, and that's part of this. That's part of SpaceX's mission. But I wish he didn't do. But
oh, it's definitely not perfect. That's for sure.
But if you could say like, I mean, literally, if any of you guys could say like, hey, do you want your customer to get a tax deduction if they do business with you? Who would you say no?
Of course not.
Right. Well, that's basically what he's getting, right? When you buy an electric vehicle, and I think he's used up all of his, maybe, or I forget how it works, but they don't get an infinite number of these.
Well, I know like a large portion of their revenue was like most of the revenue was from like these carbon credits or whatever, or at least like some large, very large.
Yeah. There was some. It wasn't just a tax deduction. It was the other. Right. It's the other car companies actually had to make payments, I think, that came from if you were making a lot of ICE vehicles, like Ford or GM or whatnot, you had to buy carbon credits. Right. So you had to buy some, you had to go on this market for carbon credits and end up giving your money to Elon. So yeah, that's pretty bogus, right? Yeah. Like that's some extortion and some bullshit that he probably should not participate in.
Yeah. So this is just his quote from this week, and I guess it came about. He was at a Wall Street Journal CEO Council Summit. He said it doesn't make sense to take the job of capital allocation away from the people who have demonstrated great skill in capital allocation and give it to an entity that has demonstrated very poor skill in capital allocation, which is government. Government is simply the biggest corporation with the monopoly on violence. So it's pretty based.
Yeah. So, I mean, whatever he's doing, maybe it's, contrary to what he's saying, but he's saying some cool shit. So that's good.
I think we can thank the shrill left for pushing him in this direction. Right. Like
the shrill left.
right? You know what I'm talking about? Like the everybody
The
that mentions him by name, the
shit libs.
yeah,
the
shit
SNL
libs.
cast that won't that won't like get on stage with him, right?
The ones, the ones
they
that are
got on
just,
stage with
the
him.
ones that are just like tax Elon. Like the ones that are like, being that wealthy is obscene. Like disgusting.
Phil, Otto, what are you laughing about over there? Get off your phone.
Get your memes.
I'm trying to
across the
check
one?
the comments. I'm trying to watch stuff that we're not getting that many comments. So I just came across the meme. It just made me laugh so hard.
You want to share it with the class?
I will share it with you.
Share it with the rest of the class?
All right, yeah, I gotta just here. Just go to my profile. Just go to my profile and find it. It's gonna take me too long.
You're gonna make me work for it.
Oh dear Lord.
But oh my god! So did you guys hear about Facebook? They're in the court.
Meta?
Apparently, there was a court ruling that said that their fact checking is just an opinion. They admitted to it in court. That the fact checking they do something along those lines. I could be completely wrong. This could be a complete nothing burger, but pretty sure.
You know what that reminds me of? The thing where an Alex Jones had to admit that his show was for entertainment purposes.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Cares? I mean, really?
It's just funny when they have to admit it.
Well, did anybody think there was anything else anyway?
Right. Yeah. Well, the people who would probably still be like, well, this isn't fact check, so I can't believe it.
All right, you have to read that. Read that for the audience.
So the top text says, "The ghost sitting in the corner of my Airbnb watching me masturbate to a picture of her from the 1880s." And it's like a grainy black and white picture of an old lady with like her eyes glowing.
What the hell is that? And how is that part of our show now?
I don't know. I get it though, because you go into those Airbnbs sometimes and they got like creepy photos and shit everywhere. You're like, what?
Ooh, that's hot.
I just came across that and I just stopped the whole show. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. I've had too much eggnog.
Elf cum.
Oh, why she said? I took a big gulp as she said that.
Here's a little secret. You know what eggnog really is?
Oh.
I don't even know why I'm thinking horrible things to answer that question.
Well, that's enough eggnog for me tonight then, because now I'm moving on to my watermelon White Claws.
Oh dear Lord, watermelon White Claws. That's quite the transition. Eggnog to watermelon White Claws.
Well, I got so I guess during the break I'm gonna go break open this. I bought some of this cranberry. What is it? Cranberry ginger ale stuff. Canada Dry. I'm just gonna mix that.
Festive.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mix that with Tito's. Just get a ton on that.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. What are you drinking? What are you drinking? Oh, yeah. What are you drinking there, Babs?
I'm drinking Polar Seltzer, watermelon flavor.
Yeah. Oh, watermelon, my man. Yeah, watermelon winner.
I think mine has more alcohol than Otto's. Actually, mine has 0. How much does yours have?
I thought mine's got 5%.
So it's about the same.
Pretty much. Does the trick. Man. Oh God. Yeah, but this is great. I love watermelon. Man, I love watermelon flavored stuff. So.
I just feel it would be unprofessional to drink alcohol on the show. I don't think I want to.
I'm just drinking this garbage here.
So, there you go. He's respecting the request. He's Bud Light.
Jared, what? That's a joke, right?
Yeah, Jared and I.
Bud Light. Where'd you get the Bud Light can, Jared? I know that.
It was from camping. That's the only time I ever drink Bud Light.
Oh, you did like trash cleanup and you found that?
Yeah, exactly. I stole it from a bear.
Okay, we're now announcing a new GoFundMe to please save Jared from drinking Bud Light. Jesus Christ. This, come on, man.
Save me. Save me.
Very sad.
Order me some drizzle.
What if your fiance saw that? She might reconsider.
She might.
Do they have drizzle up in Philadelphia? Or have you ever ordered from it, Jared?
Drizzly? Yeah, I order from it all the time, dude. I'm lazy.
No shit. Really?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. I've never tried it.
Oh, do it, man.
You ever done?
I mean, you got to pay the minimum order is like $50 or something.
Oh,
but
damn.
I usually order at least $50, so it's not a problem.
And it's just like your local liquor store will deliver it.
Yeah,
Or
actually,
the closest one to you.
The store that I go to, actually, it used to come from like Remington, or yeah, there was one in Remington, and there was one on Harford Road that it was coming from. But the one, my regular like beer store with all the craft shit, is now listed on there, so I can get all that shit.
Oh, dude,
nice.
that's
I just make a
that's
beer run
dangerous.
up to Treehouse in Massachusetts.
Yeah, nice.
It's only like 5.5, 6 hours away.
Yeah,
That's a great beer. My brother he was up there recently, and I partook in a Treehouse. It was pretty good.
They have so many varieties I can't even keep up. But when it comes to double IPAs, they just freaking have so many wonderful little variations in that zone.
Love it.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's why I hate like this liquor store that by my house. They just have such a good assortment of stuff. I just don't know where to start, and I always just end up being like Bernie Sanders, being like, "There's too many options." It's like deodorant. He's like,
yeah. I usually have like choice paralysis when I go to the beer store.
I know. So I'm like,
Yeah.
God. I start like if it was a meme, it'd be like my face going into the liquor store, and then just like it just slowly turns into Bernie Sanders, just talking about the stupid what is it? Yeah, it was the deodorant thing. He was
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who needs 27 kinds of deodorant?
I was like,
When kids are starving in Africa.
I'm telling, there's too many deodorants. I go into the store, there's deodorants, there's a whole aisle. There's the plastic thing and you gotta get someone to come back to get one of the deodorants.
Right.
They gotta come and I lock them. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Dude, there's this place up at when I go up to visit my brother, and it's dangerous. I don't know how. He's like within walking distance of so many bars. And I'm like, damn, dude, this is dangerous. Because he lives in West Reading. And there's a bunch of little spots. And there's this bar down the street, like literally out his back alley and halfway down the block. And it's this sports bar, and they have beer takeout. But you can do variety packs. Like you could and they have them all priced and color coded. So you can make like, dude, they have so much. It's fucking insane. I'm like, Steven, this is fucking dangerous, man. Like, if I lived here, but yeah, it was pretty cool. So you can, because when you have so much, like you said, Jared, you go in and there's so much variety. It's like, let me just get a little, because you don't want to like go hard on like a 6 or a 12. If you're like, let me just try it first.
Yeah,
but
especially like, what is it? What's the one at Hamden? Wine Source. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go in there and it's like
Dude,
aisles and aisles of
Yeah.
like each type of liquor has an aisle. Like there's a whole aisle of rum. There's a whole aisle of like rye whiskey. Then fucking
I
bourbon.
approve.
Yeah, it's great. But like you go in there, you're
Yes.
like, oh man.
dude, the
I
whole
don't know
Well, you know
what
what's-
to do.
But
The
you know
whole
what the
beer
worst thing is
cooler.
about that is because so there's like a specific beer I want, and I go there, and instead of they have a 6-pack, it's a 5-pack now because someone used the last thing to try one, I guess. And
Do they do
can
make your own
own.
sixers there?
Yeah. And so I'm like, damn it! Like I wanted 6 beers, now I got to walk away with 5, and I'm just irritated.
Damn.
But that's
well,
first world
the
problems.
price you
so.
pay. Yeah.
first world problems.
Do people still go to Delaware for lower taxes on booze?
I mean, dude,
ROI.
I'm paying
That-
more money to have it delivered to my house. Like I'm not going
Yeah.
down to Delaware to get it. Save like 1% on taxes.
Too
or whatever.
far.
I mean,
Well,
if you
I don't
live
know.
close to it, because I remember
If you're in Cecil County, of course.
oh fuck yeah, because I noticed that because it was years ago. I was commuting to school on the weekend, so I was driving through Delaware to go down to Delaware or Dover for classes, and I remember that's like when Maryland passed like increased the taxes on booze,
Mm.
and it was insane. Like once that happened, there was a couple stores on like the Maryland side that straight up closed because it's like, why the fuck would you go there? When you could
Right.
literally just
Yeah.
go a half mile. Like there's just this border because you honestly in that part like Cecil County, you really don't know if you're like, am I in Delaware or Maryland? Like you really don't
Right,
even.
yeah.
There's really no fucking difference. So it's
Right.
like literally so
Well,
damn close.
a lot of people used to go into New Jersey from Philly to get booze because the taxes are a lot better on booze in Jersey. Surprisingly, it's like one thing that's like actually not more tyrannical in Jersey, but it was such a problem that the Philadelphia or the Pennsylvania authorities started having to do sting operations where they would they would park at a New Jersey liquor store and look for Pennsylvania plates and then follow you back and then make you somehow you had to explain why you bought booze out of state.
They
He
would
crossed state lines. He crossed state lines.
Crossed state lines.
Oh no,
My lines.
Yeah,
Dude, we need to make a
that's
PRL
crazy.
exclusive shirt that just says
But they're that
lines.
concerned. They're
State
that
lines.
concerned about people, evading their bullshit liquor taxes. Like they'll actually go to Jersey, and they're so concerned. They're like, "Well, we better do a sting op."
Yeah,
Speaking
when
of,
they raised the taxes in Maryland on cigarettes, and it was just so funny. We're talking about this
Dude,
today.
speaking of cigarettes, I got a story.
Oh yeah, real quick. Go ahead, Jared.
So,
oh yes,
did you hear about this?
yes.
No.
So
Oh
New
my
Zealand,
God.
New Zealand plans to eventually ban all cigarette sales. The proposed legislation, which is expected to become law next year, would leave current smokers free to continue buying cigarettes, but it would gradually raise the smoking age year by year until it covers the entire population.
What?
2008. So from
so-
2008.
So starting in 2023,
Yeah.
anyone under the age of 15 would be barred for life from buying cigarettes. And then
Look.
in 2050,
Yeah.
people 42 and older would still be able to buy tobacco cigarettes.
Let's
We'll
get our
track
black
numbers.
market operation going now. This looks
Let's
like
get-
the next up and coming thing. I can't
What
wait.
a wild fucking law.
Let's
We're
let's
gonna have
get
a New
let's
Zealand
get the street
Al Capone.
gangs forming. Yeah, Al Capone. Maybe it comes from the fact that, remember, New Zealand, right? That's where the land of the hobbits, right?
Yeah.
Now, don't they say smoking stunts your growth? Perhaps they're we're really sick of being hobbits, and this is how the government is addressing their height problem.
We're about to start the the New Zealand cigarette cartel
Yeah.
live
Dude.
on air tonight.
You don't get
it's
that
funny,
many,
though.
you don't get a lot of new opportunities to, these kind of ground floor opportunities.
I mean, think about, honestly, these fucking insane taxes that the state imposes is the reason why Eric Garner was murdered in
Yep.
New York City. Just like what you're talking about, Babs, with the, coming into New Jersey and stakeouts for beer. They did the same shit in Maryland when they raised the cigarette taxes. I remember hearing.
Well, now, hold on. But this is aimed to reduce smoking levels in New Zealand across all ethnic groups, including its poorer Indigenous
Yeah.
Maori and Pacific Island citizens.
It's
That's
for the brown
racist.
people.
It's
See,
for their sake, so that
we have to take away freedoms for the brown people. Again,
Yeah.
The white saviors will
we
save
love
the
brown people, so we're taking away your freedoms. Got it?
So you can't breathe
What?
now.
Speaking of taking away freedoms for brown people, how about that governor of Oregon? Do
What?
you know what her name is?
We got to find the docs on her.
Oregana?
We showed.
She signed a bill to make sure that reading, writing, and math are no longer graduation requirements for government school captives. I mean graduates. And then that's bad enough. And then she said it's for the colored people or people of color.
Kate
And then
Governor,
she
Oh,
specifically
you sound like my grandma.
she specifically then listed Black people, Pacific Islanders, tribal, Latino, Latinx. She went through this whole list. She even threw Asians in there, which I thought was really thoughtful. I'm sure the Asians really need this. right?
really struggle at math.
Yeah, they're the Asians are really glad you took the math requirement out. Thanks,
Yeah.
Gov. Right. But to literally, she said this is for people of color.
Yep.
We don't want you to have to know math anymore because it's unfair to people of color. I can't think of anything more insulting.
Oregon Governor Kate Brown. I posted the docs there in the chat, Jared, but privately signed a bill last month ending the requirement for high school students to prove proficiency in reading, writing, and arithmetic
They're
before
telling you.
graduating.
They're saying They're saying the quiet part out loud now. This is
But they didn't
government
They
schools
actually
is-
didn't do the announcement like they usually do for a signing. It was a kind of a little quiet, we just kind of sneak it in there.
The first person with half a brain immediately thinks, why would we do this? Oh, we're doing this because so many people aren't passing. But it's not like we're going to do anything to reform the schools or do anything, change the way we teach, change the teachers, change schooling,
or just let the kids go.
Right.
We're
Or let
just
them go. We're still going to require them. They need to show up. And if they don't show up, you'll be truant and we'll come and arrest your parents and we'll do anything, be a fucking horrible status. This is just telling you, anyone with half a brain, that government schooling is just daycare.
Yeah.
For kids. It's to mold you into being a better citizen, into a soldier, to a factory worker. Like, that's all government schooling is. It's fucking propaganda. It's a prison for children. Get out.
Exactly.
Get out. Like, find something. Oh my God. Like, I just like the how could you say that? Because like that's the problem that's going on in Baltimore City for a while, is like they found that like I forget the percentages, but they weren't proficient in, it was like 70% or I don't know. I have to look it up. It was from like a few years ago, but like almost no one was passing in Baltimore City that were proficient in math or writing.
Well, they're not going to start firing their teachers union members or scaling back their inflated budgets. I just posted a link to a file photo of the governor. Perhaps we could share that just so people know who we're talking about.
Oh no! Oh yeah, that one.
Wait, this is the Oregon governor?
Yeah. She's
that is her.
Fucking wackadoo.
For the record, I would not have sex with her. All right, just stating out there.
I don't believe that.
Amy Klobuchar, yes. Her, no.
What if Amy had that mask on?
Oh yeah.
She doesn't think that Black people, Pacific Islanders, Latinos, Latinxes, Asians, and assorted others can handle math, writing, and reading. So look at her.
Yeah.
And that's accepted. People accept that. Like, I mean, could you imagine being like insulted that way by the governor of your state?
I mean, it's pretty fucking blatant when it's. I mean, oh my God, yeah, they're saying
bigotry
parts
of
out
low
loud.
expectations.
Yeah.
We see it all the time from the left, all the time. Like, and it's like that's why they're always like trying to accuse everyone else of being racist, because they feel it in their hearts that they know they're racist, and they know that they think that these other people are inferior and need the help of their superior whiteness. And that's 100%. Exactly the kind of person that this governor of Oregon is. I mean, what a scumbag.
Oh, so apparently the woman who, or I don't know if it was a woman. I have to look it up. But who wrote the book White Fragility?
Let's go in the docs.
Yeah, if you guys find that, because I have an edition that I did not know. I was pretty blown away when I saw it. To add to that. So the author wrote the book White Fragility, and
Robin DiAngelo?
Yep, it was a woman. Yes. Well, she followed it up with a book called Nice Racism: How Progressive White People Perpetuate Racial Harm. And I'm like, I need this book. Apparently it's at Target.
Oh.
I was like, this is pretty fucking based. And it's funny because that's our go-to line in Kyle's group is when you say nice racism, nice ableism. It's our response to everything. So yeah, Robin DiAngelo. Sorry, I just figured I'd throw that out there because I just saw that today, like a few hours ago, literally 2 hours ago. But
it's perfect for Clown World, right? When somebody like that puts on that mask, goes out on TV and says stuff like Black people can't do math. I mean. And then she's applauded by people for her super inclusiveness or whatever the hell. I don't know what I mean, she's so intersectional or what is it? Like, I don't even know what it is.
Something, equity, something, anti-racist.
Yeah. And then let's tax Elon. Yeah.
Woo! Jeff Bezos is next. Yeah, man, it's just ridiculous. The bigotry of low expectations is just out there, and I wish there was you could find some type of criticism or commentary that critiques this, but I doubt it's out there in mainstream anyway, the corporate media. So
that's why we're here.
Exactly, this is our role.
The corporate press is the enemy of the people.
It's true.
They're fake news. Okay. Oh yeah, CNN. What's his face got fired? Fredo, or did that already happen last week? That happened last week.
I don't know.
Fredo on Cuomo. He was fired, and like CNN's shaking it up because I think people just see through their bullshit. That it's just they can't even pass as.
Has nothing to do with Ghislaine Maxwell's revelations.
Could be that too.
You guys see that picture of her?
She's
editor of Atlantic.
She's you mean the one where it's like, wow, she's got boobs.
Yeah.
She's like massaging his feet. That one?
No. This is her in a bathing suit.
Dude, if I was the defense, I would have released those a long time ago. This is going to build support, right? This is how you right? Like,
I'm like, hey guys, she's not half that bad.
I'm like, yeah, she's actually, like. Wait a minute. Remember, she was running a child trafficking ring who was like into raping kids for the purpose of blackmailing nations into bogus wars for Israel. Well, oh, that's right. But she's got good cleavage.
Yeah, but those titties.
Them titties.
But them titties.
G-Lane knockers.
Yeah, let me find the docs on that. But
are we? I mean,
there's a lot of distractions going on.
Are we gonna get canceled for this?
I was distracted by the thighs. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I mean?
Are we getting canceled for this?
Well, we're getting canceled for other reasons, but
yeah,
that's neither here nor there.
I mean, if you're not canceled these days, I mean, you're really not trying.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're working on it.
Otto's literally drinking elf cum on camera.
Yeah, I'm a filthy degenerate. I'm drinking White Claw.
I want to get our show onto Odyssey. Like,
I've already started migrating it over. I need to finish it though.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. And figure out if I can stream live there.
Odyssey. That's
I was hanging out with Jeremy Kaufman, a few other people at Boston.
Oh, that's right, man. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that in the after hours.
Yeah, we can talk about the after hours.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask you last week, but you went too hard in the paint.
You
weren't on last.
So burnt out. I was like, I
can imagine.
I'm like, I was struggling to do tonight because I'm just like I stopped listening to podcasts. That's why I was listening to Christmas music. Like I stopped listening to podcasts for like a week, and I was like, I'm done. I don't want to hear any libertarian theory. I just want to listen.
Getting festive for Christmas.
He's like, I got Punk Rock Libertarians podcast coming up. I'm going to listen to Silent Night, and then Mariah Carey, and then
George Michael.
I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Yeah,
well, the funny thing is there's like some really good like metal versions of like Christmas songs that like I love listening to, and they're pretty good. And there's good punk versions and stuff like that. Like there's Misfits do a cover of Blue Christmas. There's a few good stuff. Bouncing Souls do a good cover. There's some good stuff out there, and like punk and hardcore and metal where they cover Christmas songs. So I'm really into that right now. That's about it. Because I'm seriously, I haven't listened. Like, I just been struggling, man. I'm so like over hearing the same thing over and over again. I get like this from like every time, like this year, like this time of year, I always go through that where I'm just like, I'm done with podcasts. I'm done listening to it. I just want to like listen to music, whether it be Christmas or non-Christmas.
Yeah,
well, hopefully our listeners don't feel the same.
Kwanzaa.
Yeah, no. Keep
Hanukkah.
Yes.
What else we got? Solstice.
Put us on.
I do Solstice
Christmas
myself.
Day.
God
Share
Rest
us with
Ye
your family.
Merry Gentlemen by Dio. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Dio did a cover?
Yes. It's so
Oh,
good.
Yo,
Thanks-
But it's like
Thanks
it's
for
like
that,
too
Tim Miller.
good. It's like too good because you know he was a classically trained singer, so he does it like way too good. And I'm like, this isn't. I want to hear more like harshness to it, but I digress. It's still Dio. Anything he does,
You should do it then if you don't want it to sound good. Hey-o.
Oh man. So what else? What else are we getting canceled for?
Wasn't there some kind of like controversial post on the Facebook group?
Oh boy.
Say that for the after hours.
Yeah, let's do it for
Yeah.
after hours.
Yeah, we'll just get canceled by talking about that.
Yeah,
I know.
It's that
there's-
controversial.
Yeah, we got people. They've been reporting us apparently all day. They've been reporting us.
the usual suspects too.
Yep.
Lots of losers. Bunch of losers. Okay.
I cannot believe the amount of people that just feel comfortable admitting like tried reporting them to Facebook and they just wouldn't take this thing down because it hurt my feelings. Like, What? The only thing I've ever reported was like actual pedophile shit. That's the only thing I've ever reported in my entire life.
I report. I admit I've reported.
Oh,
quite a
I have
few.
too. Yes, I have as well.
I've reported illegal gun sales, those quote unquote gun buybacks.
Yep.
Right? Like,
I've reported the FBI as being a terrorist organization. I have
credible threat of violence. Check.
God damn it.
This is a scam.
IRS. The IRS reported for scam.
any government bureau that pops up, like you get
I'm
the health
tired of
department.
seeing this. Check.
I'm in this picture. It's a picture of like some weed smoker getting arrested.
Oh boy.
It seems to never really help though, does it?
No. Oh.
Tim says he reported McVeigh's LPD page. What's that?
No comment.
Oh yeah, we'll have to. We'll discuss in the after hours.
Look at that next comment.
What do we got?
Bergman wants to come on to the after hours.
Bergman's coming on the after hours.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
If you're not already a Patreon,
you better cough up a buck now.
Right. We're raising this shit. $5 right now.
Well,
right now.
Well, first of all, has Matt contributed his buck to get the link? Right. I'm going to cover it. If he hasn't, I'm good for it. I got you, Matt.
All right. Well, then you know what? Screw this. Like, fuck this this free show. All you takers out there, I need you to not be a taker and be a giver. And this tis the season to give. So go over to our Patreon, sign up for as little as $1 per month right now, and you get to check out our After Hours podcast, which we're going to record right after this with the legendary Matthew Bergman.
Woo!
And, yeah, exactly. So go over there, sign up. There's different tiers. $10 a month, you get a T-shirt, all sorts of other stuff. If you pay a certain amount, we'll let you even come on the damn podcast. So please check that out. If you don't feel comfortable giving a Patreon, go over to PRLfans.com and find out other ways to donate to the show, including Bitcoin. We need to start stacking sats over here. All right. So
Price
please
is going
do that.
down, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Now's
on
the
a
time.
discount. We're at 47, 46, something like that.
It's going to keep going down. You better get rid of it quick. Send it to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Before it goes down.
And, also, go buy T-shirts. You are thinking of a last-minute Christmas gift? Go buy T-shirts. Libertarian T-shirts. Everyone loves the Libertarian T-shirt. Go over to libertariancountry.com where they sell the best Libertarian T-shirts. And you can go use our code to save 10%, PRL or PRL Podcast. And if you spend $50 or more, which I know you will, use the code PRL2 and get a 20% discount. Also, we are working with Dave Casey's incredible Wheelies Pharmacy and for all your CBD needs. And if you use the code PRL10, you get a 10% discount. And also check out the podcast Hidden in Plain Sight by Moral Bob. And until next time, live free
or die.
All right.